guys, it's Fredrino at Trinity Professional Group, and today we're back with another Trinity 10. It is officially Q4, you guys. As of Sunday, we've reached Q4. We're in our last quarter of the year, and I'm so excited. I couldn't be more excited to see what Q1 is going to bring, what we've learned from all of the quarters this year, and how we're going to get better going into next year. And it is also my birthday month. Yay! I'll be 32 this year, you guys. I'll be 32 on October 16th. And to commemorate my birthday, I'm actually going to be having a 1-hour strategy Zoom call where we're going to be talking in a group and we're going to go over strategy. We're going to go over how to expand ourselves to our next level, what we can critique that we've done already, how we can make it better in Q4. That way, when we get to Q1, we're clear on what it is we need to do, what we want to do, and how we're going to fully execute for the rest of the year next year, 2024. So I'm so excited to offer that. I'll make sure I drop the link below in the video so that you all can go ahead and sign up for that call and then give me your email address. And of course, I'll be sending out that Zoom link when it is time for our call. I'm so excited. But for today's video topic, we're actually going to be talking about scaling. So we hear that term a lot. We hear it a lot with our businesses. If we currently have an employer, we hear them speaking about scaling, or people with small businesses, they want to scale. Everybody wants to scale to the next level, right? But of course, with me, with what I do, infrastructure consulting, my primary focus is going to be making sure you have an infrastructure set up to where you can get to that next level. You can sustain those customers and then continue to grow your customer base as you continue to grow your company, right? But scaling is not just like sending out an advertisement. Scaling isn't just ramping up sales for Christmas, ramping up sales for Black Friday, and then once those sales taper off, we don't know what to do from there. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what direction we're going in. We're just waiting for the next big sale and hoping to get our customers back on board. That is not scaling. Scaling is actually the intentional investment in either expanding your market. That means either going global or expanding your locations, whether you're based in Dallas and now you want an office in Houston, or you're based in Houston and now you want an office in Chicago. That is scaling. That is taking what you do best to another area. That's taking what you do best and magnifying that skill set in a whole new area to garner new clients, as well as provide a close distance to make sure they're accessible to what it is you're already good at, right? So let's say you have a clothing line and 40% of your shipping goes out onto the West Coast. Either it's California, Nevada, New Mexico, somewhere over there. It's heading out to the West Coast and you're based on the East Coast. It would make sense, right, for you to scale and have a base that's closer to the West Coast to service your customers, but also let them know you're going to service them in a better way by being closer to them in proximity, and therefore eliminating some of the shipping costs you incur because you're based on the East Coast, right? So that would be scaling. You're going up to the next level. You're not just doing what you've already done. You found what you're good at, and now you're going to take it to a whole nother level, another base where you're going to make your employees happy and also benefit them while garnering more employees, because now they don't have longer shipping times. They don't feel like they're removed from the brand. The brand is right around the corner from them. They have so much more they can learn because now you're closer to them. You can keep your base in the East Coast. There's nothing wrong with that, but you'll have a satellite office, so to speak, in the West Coast. That's scaling. It's taking the time, the money, the resources, the thought to expand into another level of what it is you're already good at. But you can't know what you're good at without your KPIs. That's another thing we talked about in our videos on was it last week or the week before last? One of the two. Your key performance indicators. Remember, those key performance indicators are our metrics based on the infrastructure that we've set up, right? Our procedures were set up, and now we're going to measure our procedure and how effective it is through our KPIs. So with your KPIs showing you exactly what's profitable, what's not profitable, how you can forecast for the next season, how you can forecast for the next quarter. They're showing you all of these numbers to let you know what's successful and what's not, and what you should repeat and what you should tweak. A lot of times I feel like we don't pay attention enough to our KPIs, or we're not gathering the correct information, right? So my example I just spoke about, where you have your home base on the East Coast and now you're going to expand to the West Coast. If you don't have correct numbers on how many orders are shipped to the West Coast, if you don't have correct information on what times versus Eastern Standard Time, what times they're ordering on the Western Time, you're not going to be able to set your correct office hours. You're not going to be able to offer your correct advertisement on time. Your timing will be off because you're based on what's normal. So it takes a lot of adjusting. It takes a lot of getting outside of the norm when you go to invest in scaling. Scaling is not something that's just done automatically overnight. That's not what scaling is. Scaling is intentional, and I need everyone to understand that. Scaling is an intentional investment. It is taking money from where we're already good at and moving it to double that. We're now doubling it up. We're placing all our bets on the table, and we're double or nothing at this point. So you want to make sure that you're stretching out and moving into a new area based on what you already know is working, right? So that is scaling. A lot of people want to scale, but they're not in the position to scale. Because scaling is an investment, most entrepreneurs cannot scale until they're at a place where they are like a plateau. They've reached a place where they've started hiring employees, and with hiring these employees, they kind of see where those employees can fit into the expansion of the business, as well as where they can fit into possible leadership roles. So this type of intent, this type of investment really requires you to look at all pieces as a whole. And the reason why I say so many people want to scale but they're not in a position to is because as an entrepreneur, you are now moving into CEO mode. You're now moving into visionary mode. You can't be in the middle of the forest, so to speak, right? You know how people have this saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. You can't be working on chopping down a tree when you need to be able to see the entire forest. You need to see how everything is coming together, how everything is affecting each other, how everything is going to be impacted. If you do cut down this one tree right here, is it going to fall on this tree over here? And if it falls there, what will that impact on that side of the forest? But you need to be able to see it in totality, right? So you can't be a part or one of the employees, so to speak, and want to take the company to the next level. That's impossible. You're not going to be able to focus. You're not going to be able to think. You're not going to be able to wrap your head around contingencies that could pop up because you're moving to a new market, right? You know that how much it costs on the East Coast for you to have your warehouse. It may be totally different on the West Coast, or the point where you want to expand to could be booming for real estate, but it could not, be so great for commercial real estate. So you could possibly buy on the downturn. There are so many intricate pieces that happen when you go to scale that you have to be able to see holistically, and you cannot do that if you're still kind of like an employee on the line with the people that you've hired. Excuse me. So you want to make sure you pay close attention to that. Scaling is an endeavor. It is something you take on. It is something you plan. And you want to make sure that when you do plan, you're putting your money in the right place. It's not just about throwing money because you want something to happen. You have to be strategic, because not only are you focused on expanding, you're also focused on retaining and sustaining what you already have going in the customer base that is now paying for your expansion, right? You have to make sure they're still happy, and you're not just focused on making yourself happy or making yourself look good in the industry. You have to make sure you're still servicing your customers to the level that got them loyal to your brand and to your company in the first place. So I want to make sure that before everybody speaks on scaling, everybody speaks on raising up to the next level, that you realize what's really impacted when you choose to take that task on, what's really going to be impacted when you choose to endeavor on these new paths, because it impacts everybody. It impacts you, it impacts those customers, and the last thing you want to do is upset your loyal customers on the East Coast just because you want to expand into a new market on the West Coast. So this is the first half of scaling. Scaling is a really big deal. I'm going to cover the second part on Thursday, of course, because there are so many questions and things that you have to ask yourself when you're ready to scale. So make sure that you all check out my website and also my social medias, where I have posted posted about my 1 hour Zoom call where we're going to go over some strategy for small businesses. I cannot wait for that session. It's going to be on my actual birthday, October 16th. So please make sure you click the link in my comment section or at the end of the video title and make sure that you become a part of that. It's going to be so great. While I give general concepts on my videos, I will be giving specific concepts within that strategy call for your industry. I'm going to do so much research and make sure I can help you guys take on this next level the best way you can, even if you're not quite ready to scale. Again, Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group. Have a great day.